Hello, Chambrea. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. Today I'm with Chambrea Daniels. She is in the North Carolina Triangle area, which she will explain more to us because I'm not even sure what the Triangle area totally is. So I'm very excited to learn more about this today. She's been a resident there for 28 years. Before becoming a realtor and becoming a senior specialist, she was actually an engineer for 13 years, which I find that very intriguing, and we'd love to hear more about that as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came about in this journey to be here today?
Yes. So I am a native North Carolinian from Charlotte, and I moved to Raleigh to go to North Carolina State University at age of 18. I completed my studies there in computer engineering, and I was an engineer for 13 years. And I tried to go into real estate part-time as an engineer, and that did not work at all. I had gotten married, had a brand new baby, and decided that I wanted to focus on a career where I could help people and I could see the effects right away. I could help them one-on-one achieve their goals and still have time for my family. And it just made me happy to help people. So that's how I transitioned from engineering into real estate.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was 12 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, and I don't think that people realize that realtors are all about helping others. I don't think they realize that's something that's innate in us. It's not about the sale; it's about helping people achieve their dreams and their goals.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so fun and satisfying whenever I see the big smile on their face when they either buy the house they had been planning on buying, or they sell the house because they either want to relocate to another area, or they want to, upgrade their house, or they want to downsize.
Yeah.
Whatever their reasons, I'm always happy to help.
Yes. Well, and that's our reason for doing this today, because we want to hopefully reach people in the Northeast and actually anywhere that may be looking to relocate down to the Carolinas, in particular into your area. So if you can tell us a little bit about what is the Triangle area, what is included in that?
So the Triangle area is actually composed of three cities. That is Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. And those three places make up the Triangle. Chapel Hill is better known as the where UNC Chapel Hill is located.
Yeah.
ACC school, Carolina Blue, Michael Jordan, big sports school. Durham also has colleges as well. It's the sister city to Raleigh. Raleigh has NC State and it's the state capital. So we are central to the state of North Carolina.
Okay. And now tell me, what are you seeing with retirees in terms of either ones that you're working with locally or ones that are relocating there? What are you seeing in terms of like trends and like what they're looking for?
So in the 12 years that I've been selling real estate, our 55 plus community has grown tremendously. We went from having just two or three active adult communities to having many, many, many active adult communities, and more are scheduled to be built. So when I first came into real estate, started selling real estate, there were only a handful of active adult communities. Over the past 12 years, we have seen the number of retirees come here increase exponentially. And we went from a handful of active adult communities to dozens of active adult communities, with even more planned in the future.
Oh, wow. So these are, when you say active adult, these 55 plus communities?
Yes. And these communities are nice. Don't think nursing home, think resort. These communities have swimming pools, 24-hour gyms, all kinds of social clubs, pickleball courts, dance floors, bowling. I mean, not bowling, but pool halls, coffee bars. Some of them are staffed with, sorry about that. Some of them are staffed with employees that are over the social aspects of the community. And it is living in a community. I've visited many of these communities and people are very friendly. They're looking to meet new people. They're looking to be social and make friends. And a lot of people have relocated here from other areas, especially, places like the Northeast where the cost of living is more and the weather is more brutal. We see people coming even up from Florida because they're moving away from the hurricanes. People coming from California, Texas, the mid-Atlantic, even the Midwest. So because so many people have relocated, they're looking for friends and they're looking to connect, and they're really fun social places.
Yeah. So now tell me, these like mostly one level homes?
Yes. So the plans in the active adult communities, all of them have their primary bedroom on the first floor. You can have just total ranch where everything's on the first floor. And many of them offer the option of having an upstairs where there's a bonus room, or even like a bonus room and a bedroom and a full bath.
Okay. Now tell me, these communities, are these almost like towns within a town? Like, how many homes are usually in these communities? And I'm sure it varies.
It varies. I mean, some of them are quite large. There is a builder called Del Webb, which is a division of Pulte, and some of the Del Webb communities have hundreds of houses. So
Wow.
they have a very hopping social scene.
No, that's great. So I feel like people are looking for community, because up here, our 55 plus communities look very different than a 55 plus community in North Carolina. So for example, up here, they may have a clubhouse. They're smaller in terms of units that are in there, but the biggest amenity they have is maybe a pool and maybe a clubhouse. And then some don't even have that amenity. So it's just more if they want to be with people that are, in that same stage of life.
Right.
Yeah.
And we do have some older ones, and we do have some that are not quite as resort-like. The ones that are not as big, not as resort-like, they do still offer, there is a social aspect, but they also, all of them offer yard maintenance. So you don't have to worry about cutting your grass. They're going to cut your grass. They're going to cut your trees. They're going to make sure that they want to make your life easy, because you're in your retirement years and you don't retire to do work. You retire to relax and have a good time and, just sit back and enjoy life.
Yes. So tell me, what can people expect in terms of weather year round, in terms of like, what is the year round temperature in the winter, I guess? Tell us what the winter looks like.
So winter. So I will say North Carolina gets all 4 seasons, which is nice. You get all 4 seasons. Okay. Our winters can vary. We may get snow, but our snow is probably 1 or 2 inches, and it probably lasts 2 days. But you could also have a 70-degree Christmas or a 70-degree New Year's, a 70-degree time during Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. But you just never know. You could have all 4 seasons in the same day. We like to joke about that. You could start with snow in the morning and by the afternoon be in the 70s.
Oh, well, it sounds like very much a lot of what our Boston winters are like. So it's very similar, I guess. Now tell me, so I know where that location is in terms of healthcare must be easily accessible to people.
Yes. So we have some major medical facilities here. I'm not sure if you've heard of Duke University Hospital, but there are lots of specialists. Duke University has a hospital. UNC, which is University of North Carolina, they have a hospital. We have Wake Med, which is a huge hospital system. We're in Wake County, so we have Wake Med. There's Durham Regional Hospital. There's a thriving pharmaceutical industry here as well. There's a lot of cutting edge research. So one of the great things about this area is every community is self-sufficient. So if you live in a suburb like Wake Forest or Cary or Holly Springs, everything you need is in that community. You don't have to zip back and forth across different parts of the triangle to get what you need. You'll have your amenities like your grocery store. You'll have medical facilities. You'll have pharmacy, cleaners, restaurants. And it's really nice. And you can actually get to know the people in your community because you see the same people all the time. And then, of course, you'll have your Targets and Walmarts and CVS's and Walgreens and things like that as well.
So now tell me, are you seeing most people that are relocating down there, are you seeing them go into the communities? Or do you find that some don't want to be in a 55 plus community? They just want to be maybe in their own home or maybe in a high rise or mid rise. Like, what do you see?
So we don't have a lot of high rises and mid rises here. Mostly it's going to be townhouses, single family homes, or apartments is really what you see. We have some condos, but not as many. But the condos look pretty much like apartments.
Yeah.
As far as the retirees, we see both. I mean, we don't have our 55 plus community is growing. So everyone can't go into those communities because there's not enough houses for them to move into. So we see a lot of people either moving in with their children, or buying ranch homes, or buying homes where their bedroom primary living is on the first floor, and then you may have bonus room or some secondary bedrooms on the second floor.
Yeah, which makes sense. So for people that are doing that, that may not be moving into the resort-like communities, what amenities are there for them in terms of, a social life and getting involved in the community?
Yeah. So a lot of the non-active adult communities we're very HOA heavy here,
Mhm.
homeowners association heavy. And
Okay.
so many of the communities have pools and they have tennis courts and things like that. So you can move into a non-active adult community and still have the amenities of an active adult community. If you move into a neighborhood that doesn't have those amenities, we still have park and rec, your city or your county park and rec.
Mhm.
There's private places you can join. Like maybe you want to join a bowling league, or maybe you want to join a tennis league or something like that.
Mhm.
So there's plenty of things to do. I always tell people the internet's your best friend. If you can just Google a topic, you'll find a group of people that is interested that will connect with you.
Yeah.
People in our region are very friendly. We're just very friendly people down here. And so if you look for interest and you reach out to people, they will embrace you, and you'll find a tribe. You'll find a group of people if you're looking for it.
Yeah. So now tell me, what do you think is the biggest attraction of why people are coming down to North Carolina from the Northeast?
So there's several factors. Cost of living is huge. Our taxes are so much lower. I talk to clients that are coming from New York and New Jersey. The taxes are substantially higher than they are here. So your retirement dollars go your retirement dollars go further down here. Even the cost of car insurance, the cost of housing, everything cost is lower here. Not only cost is the reason people move here, but also weather. I mentioned we get all 4 seasons, but it's very mild.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is location. We have the mountains and the beach. I can be to the beach depending on what beach it is, I can be to the beach in as little as 2 hours or 3 hours. I can go to the mountains and I can be to the mountains in 3 to 4 hours. So you can be into Washington, D.C. in 4 hours. Drive down to Atlanta in 6 hours. So it's very drivable. You don't have to fly everywhere here. You
Right.
can do a lot of things in 6 hours or less living in this area.
Yeah. So it's very commutable and very easy to get to. So is Raleigh the biggest? Is that the closest airport to you?
So the closest airport in the Triangle area is Raleigh Durham International, and it is an international airport. There are international flights that go out every day. It goes to New York every day. You can go from Raleigh to New York in an hour. It's a very short flight. Or maybe it's an hour and a half. I'm sorry. It's probably an hour and a half. I think DC's an hour. It's like 45 minutes. So yeah, DC's 45. I think New York's an hour and a half. You can fly down to Florida, Orlando in like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And it also goes international. There are direct flights to, I can't think of all the major cities, but I know Paris is a direct flight. I think somewhere in Lithuania or something like that. That's a daily flight. It's interesting, some of the daily international flights that come out of Raleigh.
Right.
You don't have to go to JFK for everything.
Yes. No, that is interesting. Now, so tell me, is it do you have a lot of public transportation, or is it more car dependent?
It is more car dependent. We grew very, very quickly, but the public transportation did not grow. So you do need a car. You need a car, just to be honest, at least one.
No, I feel like most people probably would. But I mean, again, you have Uber and you have car services down there too, right? So if people needed them, they could get around as well. And
Yes.
then what was another question I had? I want to know, so cost of living, climate. Oh, okay. So what about people? Do you find a lot of people moving down there to be near? Because I know when, like, sometimes up here, like we have the Cape, and people, that's their vacation place, and then their friends, and they migrate there because of friends. Do you find a lot of people are coming there more so for friends, and they might have family in other areas, or you find a little bit of both?
I find a little bit of both, but I see more people come because of family.
Mm-hmm.
So the Triangle is an extremely family friendly place. I mean, we're very laid back here. I will say that we are very, very laid back. Not a real flashy place, but people love nature. We have so many natural parks. Sorry, we have so many, nature parks is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many nature parks, walking trails. We have American Tobacco Trail. We have the Noose Trail. There's lots of kids activities and family activities. And so a lot of times the grown children will come down here and they'll have their kids and everybody's thriving. The grandparents miss them, and then the grandparents follow and they come because families are here.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think is still like one of the biggest reasons why people leave where they're living, right? No matter what the situation is, some leave warmer locations because the family is still up in the Northeast. And much as they don't want to maybe leave, they don't want to miss out on those formative years of the kids.
Right.
Yeah. So we see that everywhere. So now tell me, what haven't we touched upon that you would like people to know about?
So one of the things that I did not mention, I touched on it a little bit when I talked about healthcare, but the Triangle, it has a very diverse economy, which makes it an amazing place to live, because even if one sector is down, all the sectors are not down. So we have healthcare and pharmaceutical, engineering and technology. We're the state capital, so there's a ton of state jobs. There are so many universities in the Triangle area. I only mentioned 3. I could probably mention 4 or 5 other universities in this area. So lots of professional jobs and professional students. It brings people from all over the world. So we have a diverse group of people here from all over the world, and we're a highly educated part of North Carolina, one of the most educated places in the United States. I mean, yeah, lots of college degrees here.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I'm sure that attracts people there as well, especially, our seniors too. Are you seeing the trend that we call unretired retirees, the ones that have left their big jobs or, retired fully, but now they're coming back into the work sector? Are you seeing that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in my engineering days, I would see people do that all the time. We would always laugh because they would retire and they'd say, "I see you in 30 days." And then it was a thing with the company. They had to wait 30 days and they would come back to the same job, but they would work as contractors. And so we saw a lot of people that were retired, but then kind of unretired to come back to do that same kind of thing because they just weren't ready to sit around and do nothing. They still had something to give and they still wanted to use their brain and they liked doing their jobs.
Right. Now, so tell me, that leads me to this. Are there opportunities for retirees to get involved if they want to volunteer their time?
Absolutely. I am actually, shameless plug, I'm actually doing a walk to end Alzheimer's next Saturday.
Okay.
So there's so many organizations, not just Alzheimer's, but Susan Komen, various cancer organizations, the schools. The schools are always looking for volunteers. Food bank. We have several food banks in the area. They're always looking for volunteers. Trust me, there's always a cause that needs somebody's help. Just Google the cause you want and they'll welcome you with open arms and they'll appreciate you coming to volunteer your time.
Yeah. Well, that's great to know. So I think in, in life, community is so important. And it sounds like there in the Triangle area that it would be a great place to live. And so tell us, how would somebody get in touch with you? What is the best way?
So you can get in contact with me the best way for you. You can send me an email, and I'm sure you'll share that information in the video or somewhere.
Yes.
You can email me, you can call me, you can text me. I have a calendar link that you can jump on my calendar and fill out a spot if you want to have a chat or a consultation. I'm also on social media if you want to reach out through social media. I'm not posting a lot, but I am checking it. I look forward to talking to you. You know, even if you're not ready to purchase a property or sell anything, I still would like to talk to you. I'm available to answer questions, and no question is a stupid question. I welcome all questions.
No, that's great. Well, I really appreciate your time today. This has been very informative, and I think our viewers will love it.
Thank you so much for having me.